Welcome to Hard Knock, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Simba Rashe on behalf of ATV and Zim Online Media. This is a platform where we feature Zimbabwe's who's who, the big names, the small names, the celebrities, and the most talked about people. Today in the studio, we do have a fine young man who has become an inspiration to many and also a controversy to many. I do have in the studio Enock Guni, popularly known as Nox. Nox, welcome to Hard Knock.
Thank you very much for having me.
How are you doing?
I'm very well, thanks.
As the name goes, this is the hard knock, and I'm going to knock you so hard. Are you ready for it?
I don't mind.
Right. Tell us, how are you doing?
I'm doing very well. Especially this year, everything's been happening so well, and I'm just a happy man.
Right. When you say things happening, give us a take.
Well, musically, I could say that this year has been like the peak of my career ever since I started 2003. And when that happens, I think to every artist, it brings joy and some sort of satisfaction, to you. And that's exactly how I'm feeling now.
So in other words, you mean since 2003, that's nearly coming 10 years now.
Yes.
When you look at your music career, how do you see yourself? Do you nod your head and feel satisfied?
Yeah, starting from my humble beginnings, and I actually believe in the fact that good things come to those who wait, and I've been patient enough, and it's now starting to pay off.
Right. Hopefully your WhatsApp is turned off. We don't want you to be in trouble. While we are on it, how did you come up with the track WhatsApp? I mean, why didn't you write about Facebook or about Twitter or Skype or something? Why WhatsApp?
I just looked at how WhatsApp is affecting the society, Zimbabweans in particular. It's very cheap to start with, and if you look at Zimbabwe, and it's one of the biggest social medias that they are using, and how it affects relationships, So I decided, why not write a song about that? Because with WhatsApp, you've got positive impacts on relationships and negative impacts as well. So I just decided to come up with something along those lines, as a social commentator.
Right. Social commentator, I like that. If I'm just going to touch and drop a number of the songs that you've done, WhatsApp, you've talked about the positives and the negatives. Then there's another one that you did, a collaboration with Stana, Skana Chidakwa. Then you've also did Type Your Mom.
Type My Baby.
Type My Baby.
Yes.
Then Musikana, Vaskana, and your lyrics are all around love and relationships. Some of these, are they personal experiences or?
Well, not really. If you're a soccer commentator, you're commenting what's happening in the field. Doesn't mean that you have to be in the field, you see. So I'm just there, looking at what's happening. And like if you talk of Waskana Wanoda and Mskana Chidakwa and also Type My Baby, it's just songs that talk about what's currently happening now, to the fact that ladies now have got their money, and sometimes they even earn more than guys. They end up thinking that they can be the head of the house. And me being a traditionalist, I believe in our traditional values, that the man is the head of the house. But what's happening is different, so I thought of singing songs, around that particular subject, so that we perhaps try and rectify where we are going wrong. Skana singa farire mu kitchen ni siyana na ye 3 skana yana feka chisara akashamaka siyana na
Okay. After you released Type My Baby,
yeah,
then you did this collaboration with Stana, this Miss Kana Chidagwa. It unruffled the ladies, and recently there was a reply to that. A lady called Christina Mataniro came up with Type My Face. If you guys, are you guys starting this gender war? What's going on?
No. Like what happens in music is usually when you sing a song that the other sex see as being a sexist song, they might want to reply it, and it's fine. It's art at the end of the day. But it's not a war. It's just the fact that we try and bring to reality what's happening, you know, and that's why we come up with those songs. So beautiful, so lovely, everything that I ever want.
You have had a fair share of intrusions into your personal life. Some social networks and some media carrying stories about your personal life. How do you feel about that as a person and also as a celebrity?
Yeah, you wouldn't be famous if they do not write about you. As long as they stop writing about you, you're no longer relevant. So whatever they write, sometimes I don't even comment. Like most of the time, I don't even comment, but it just tells me that I'm still relevant. And relevance is what's needed. And in PR, we say that no publicity is bad publicity. If they talk about you, it means that you're newsworthy. But that doesn't move me at all. Whatever they write, whatever they say, as long as I know what I'm doing. And sometimes they'll be trying so hard, you know, to get a response from me so that they can develop the stories further. But I do not give them that. And I try as much as possible not to, not to make the stories important by giving them a reply.
Okay.
You see.
Last year you lost a man who you described as your best friend and your manager. How did you cope through it?
It was a difficult time, you know, losing a friend and someone you refer to as a brother. And after that, losing someone who you call your manager and your personal producer is very difficult. And it took me very long, you know, for me to comprehend that it actually happened. But at the same time, it also gave me strength, you know, so that we can fulfill what we had started. So that wherever he is right now is looking back and is looking down and smiling and saying, that's my boy. And maybe we wouldn't have done that if we were still together, you never know. But because of the fact that I feel like I owe it to him, you know, to make sure that we realize what we started and all the goals and dreams that we had. And that's actually giving me strength each and every day so that he's proud of me wherever he is.
Being a Zimbabwean musician based in South Africa, how do you find the reception back home as compared to if you were a resident in Zimbabwe?
Well, I'm not too sure because I've been in Zim for up until 2008, and the response that I was getting was not as much as the response that I got after I went to SA. So I don't know if it's something that is in the mentality of the people in Zim, or it's actually the fact that I grew stronger and more experienced when I went to South Africa. I'm not too sure. But at the same time, I actually feel it's a disadvantage being out of the country because sometimes you're needed for concerts, and you might find difficulties in terms of traveling. You see, that's why I'm actually considering going back for good to them.
Interesting. You have put up your own recording label, Ice and Roses.
Yeah.
How is it coming up?
It's good. It's been great so far. We have released a compilation album with 17 tracks, and everything's just happening. We've got a studio, got a clothing line, and we've got bigger plans, to venture into media as well.
There is now a huge influx of South African house, Nigerian, now this Ghanaian Azonto and hip hop. How do you see your share on the international music market?
Well, I think Azonto, Nigerian music, whatever is happening, they deserve it because they worked for it. You see, and they know the formula, and we now also do know the formula, and we have the formula now. And I can assure you that in the next year or two, Zimbabwe is going to be on the world music map.
You won an award at the Zim Music and Arts Award this previous year.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the award?
It's great, man. It's like every artist, when you get an award, it's something that everyone wants. And the fact that it came after 10 years, actually motivated me. And I feel that, with more hard work and with more effort, I can even get more of those awards. But it's not the awards that I want. I just want to make sure that I make the people happy through the music that we do.
Right. I was following your profile and I discovered that for a while now you have embarked on some charity cause.
Yeah.
What drove you? What motivated you?
Well, just the fact that when you know that you've got people who need your help, and being a public figure, it also has an impact on the people that look up to us. If we go there and donate, it's not in the act itself, of donation, but the example that we are setting to the rest of the country and the society, so that they could also do the same. Because if a public figure, some people would want to do every little thing that you do, and it's important that we take care of the less privileged in that way. Well, what I want to say to the viewers who are watching, I think I'll actually talk about from a Christian point of view, because I'm a Christian. Put God first in everything that you do, and seek first the kingdom of God, and everything else shall be added unto you. Be patient in whatever you do, because wherever there's a will, there's a way, and patience is a virtue. It took Oliver Mtukudzi a couple of albums, 20 albums, for him to be known. So, what I'm just trying to say is that the more you endure and the more you work hard, it will eventually pay off in whatever you do, be it selling tomatoes, whatever it is that you do. Patience is very important. and just putting God in front of everything that you do.
Thank you very much, Nox. It was a pleasure having you on the Hard Knock.
Thank you.
And we
very
look
much.
forward to having you again in the near future.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, and God bless.
God bless you too.
Once again, Simba Rashe, that's my name. This is the Hard Knock. I was having a chat with Enock Guni, popular known as Nox, one of Zimbabwe's musicians, and who is on an international tour here in the United Kingdom. Again, if you want to get in touch with Nox, you can get him on all the social networks. If you look for him, his name is Nox, Enock Guni. It was my pleasure, and good night.
Anovaremekeza amatose takamirira iwe chido chemoyo vakaronzwa nezvako vanoshuvira kukuona wana chaiye tichaye